There are moments in global politics that don't just reveal leadership, they redefine it. So let me ask you something right up front. When was the last time you watched a world leader walk into a press conference and completely flip the power dynamic without raising their voice, without playing theatrics, and without giving an inch to nonsense? Because that's exactly what happened today in Johannesburg at the G20 summit, when Mark Carney stepped onto the world stage and delivered a masterclass in real leadership, leadership that doesn't react to chaos, but rises above it. And if you think you already know what happened, trust me, you don't. Not yet. Today's global press was expecting a routine Q&A. They came prepared with the same recycled, predictable storyline. But what unfolded was something far more significant, a moment where a Prime Minister made it clear, Canada isn't waiting for anyone. Not for approval. Not for permission. Not for validation. And certainly not for Donald Trump. This wasn't a press conference. This was a geopolitical reset. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this moment may be remembered as the day Canada stopped playing defense and started designing the future. Let's dive in. Because while Carney entered the room focused on global strategy, record-breaking trade expansion, and new alliances stretching across Europe, Asia, and Africa, reporters were stuck asking the same childish questions they've asked for weeks. Not because those questions matter, but because they are easy. And when the first Trump question came, Carney answered in a way that froze the entire room.
Prime Minister Ashley Brooks, CBC News. Since the U.S. called off trade talks with Canada, has Mr. Trump returned your calls, texts, or accepted your apology over the Ontario ad?
He accepted the apology when I spoke to him, and we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment. We have launched new trade agreements. We've secured new investment in the country of a size not seen arguably before. So we're busy. He's got other things to do, and we'll re-engage when it's appropriate.
Think about the power of that moment. While the press tried to drag him into the Trump storyline, Carney calmly turned the entire conversation on its head. I've been busy. That single phrase cut through the noise more effectively than any dramatic rant ever could. And instantly, the message became crystal clear: Canada is not waiting by the phone. Canada is not operating on Washington's timeline. Canada is acting, growing, investing, expanding, and the world is responding. But it didn't end there. Because reporters kept circling back, desperate to turn the story into another Trump narrative. And that's exactly when Carney delivered a second takedown, this time, even more devastating because it exposed a deeper truth: Canada has moved beyond old dynamics.
When was the last time you spoke to the president? And as you diversify trade away from the U.S., what's your red line? In terms of dealing with other countries, I mean, what are the conditions where you won't do business with another country no matter how much money it has?
Well, I think let me answer the second part of that, which is there's levels of engagement with countries. Our partnership with the European Union, for example, is at a level prospectively that is unmatched with other jurisdictions because we have similar values in terms of privacy, for example. We have similar values in terms of sustainability. We have similar values in terms of workers' rights. We have similar values. We have similar views about territorial integrity in Ukraine as well. So our level of cooperation with the European Union, with the United Kingdom, is on a different level than our level of cooperation with other countries. So all relationships are not equal. They're not of equal depth. And certainly it's not the case. This is an important point. When we engage with a country, Canada engages with a country, that we're endorsing everything that country does. The two do not follow. We calibrate our relationship, but it's not an endorsement of everything that happens in the country, nor vice versa from those countries to us.
Next question.
Who cares? I mean, it's a detail. It's a detail. I spoke to him. I'll speak to him again when it matters. I look forward to speaking to the president soon, but I don't have a burning issue to speak with the president about right now. When America wants to come back and have the discussions on the trade side, we will have those discussions.
When he said, "Who cares?" It's a detail, you could feel the shift. This wasn't ego. This wasn't bravado. This was a leader reminding reporters, and the world, that Canada has a global strategy now, not a dependency. That Canada's alliances aren't built on one relationship, but on a network of partnerships grounded in shared values, economic ambition, and long-term vision. Relationships that, as Carney said, are not endorsements, they are strategic calibrations. And then something remarkable happened. The press conference stopped being about Trump entirely. Carney pulled the entire room into the global future.
This year's G20 summit brought together nations representing 3/4 of the world's population, 2/3 of global GDP, and 3/4 of the world's trade. And that's without the United States formally attending. It's a reminder that the center of gravity in the global economy is shifting. The last century was defined by concentration of capital, production, and power. The next one will be defined by diffusion of technology, of energy, and influence, by the rise of the global south and new roles for middle powers like Canada, to multilateral arrangements that work for all. Our task is to ensure that Canada doesn't only endure this shift, but that we prosper under it. And that demands a new economic strategy. That's why Canada is signing new deals with new partners, diversifying our trade, and attracting billions of dollars of new investment into our country. Yesterday, Canada met the EU and Vietnam in its capacity as the incoming chair of the CPTPP trade agreement, and we began discussions on greater integration between the CPTPP and the EU. Linking those two of the world's largest trading blocs, representing over 1 billion people, will expand trade, catalyze investment, and increase partnerships across a range of areas from AI to energy in the Indo-Pacific, Europe, and of course, very much in Canada. Our senior officials will convene over the following months with a mission to deliver concrete results in this new bloc early next year.
This is where the press conference transformed into something much bigger. Carney wasn't just responding to global change, he was explaining how Canada will shape it. He talked about linking Europe and the TPP into a new economic corridor, an idea with massive geopolitical implications. He talked about opening a new strategic office in Cape Town to deepen Canada's foothold in Africa, one of the world's fastest-growing economic regions. He outlined Canada's strategy for critical minerals, the backbone of AI, clean tech, and next-generation infrastructure. But he wasn't done. Because then came the moment that stunned even seasoned foreign correspondents.
Our new government is working for Canada to move from reliance to resilience by building a broad and dense web of new partnerships and creating new economic opportunities that will make Canada stronger both at home and abroad. As we deepen our trade relationships with reliable partners, we are building massive trade and transportation infrastructure at home in Canada. Nous bâtissons de grands projets nationaux qui transformeront l'avenir. We're signing new deals and finding new investors to fuel our plans and Canada's economic ambition. Earlier this week, I was in the United Arab Emirates, where I met with the leading sovereign wealth funds and CEOs to attract new investment into Canada. We signed an investment protection agreement, and we launched negotiations on a new comprehensive economic partnership. At the conclusion of my visit, I welcomed the decision of the UAE to invest $70 billion in Canada. This powerful vote of confidence in our economy represents one of the largest foreign direct investments in Canada's history and will create high-paying careers across our country, from energy to agriculture and artificial intelligence. Overall, we've announced almost a dozen new economic and security partnerships across 4 continents in less than 6 months. On Monday, we signed a new partnership with Sweden to increase collaboration on trade, investment, and innovation. We've signed agreements with the European Union in trade and defense, with Germany in critical minerals, with Chile in technology. We finalized a new trade agreement and economic partnership with Indonesia. We launched negotiations, free trade negotiations with Thailand and the Philippines, as we accelerated our work to finalize our free trade agreement with the ASEAN nations over the next year. That's 20% of global GDP.
This wasn't a list. It was a declaration. A statement that Canada has entered a new era, one defined by resilience, not reliance. The UAE's $70 billion investment wasn't framed as a gift. It was a vote of confidence. A recognition that Canada is becoming a global hub for critical minerals, AI development, clean tech supply chains, and diversified trade networks stretching across continents. And as Carney laid out deal after deal, from Europe to Asia to South America, you could see it. Canada is no longer chasing opportunities. Opportunities are coming to Canada. Investors are coming to Canada. Nations are building with Canada. And that shift isn't happening by accident. It's happening by design. The message was unmistakable. Canada isn't waiting for the United States to define its future. Canada is building a future where its alliances are broad, its economy is resilient, and its leadership is respected, not questioned. So by the time Carney walked off that stage in Johannesburg, something had changed. He didn't just answer reporters. He didn't just defend government policy. He reframed the entire conversation about Canada's place in the world. He walked in as a prime minister. He walked out as a strategist shaping the next chapter of global politics. If you want more powerful analysis like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because moments like this don't just tell us where we are, they tell us where we are going. And you're not going to want to miss what comes next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.